That's actually... This is the Sony 50mm 1.8 lens. It came out in 2016 and we're going to see if it's still worth buying today. Now it will cost you around £150 or under $200 in the US. And we're going to be going out and comparing it with the Sony 50 1.2 lens. Now I know this lens does cost around £2,000, but it's going to be great to see how this little nifty 50 holds up against it. We'll be shooting some street photography with the Sony 50mm and then comparing both lenses for portraits. We also have a tripod where I'll set up the Sony a7 IV and then we'll have both of those lenses on there and we'll switch them out so you guys can really see a true comparison of tap focus, autofocus and overall performance of the lenses. Quick fire stats before we head out. The 1.8 lens weighs 186 grams versus the 1.2 which weighs 778 grams. The release dates for these, now this was released in 2016 versus the 1.2 which was released in 2021. A few other things to note, filter size thread is a 49 on the 1.8 versus a 72 on the 1.2. And then on the 1.8 there are obviously no buttons on here versus on the 1.2 you've got a custom button, you've got a click, you've got a aperture ring, you've got a focus ring, which you do have on this as well obviously, but that's not a button. And then yeah, so quite a lot going on, AF, MF, click, button, all sorts of stuff. So yeah, just for you to know there, obviously there was a lot more with this lens, but also hell of a lot more for the price. My name is Mike Will, I am m.visuals. I'm a photographer, director, and Sony European Imaging Ambassador. Let's get out into London and shoot today's video. So we'll always be shooting at 1.8 on this lens and on the other lens at 1.2 to really maximize the aperture. So, got a nice view, city backdrop of London. We're going to shoot a few portraits here, but the main thing we're going to be focusing on here is like how quickly and how much the autofocus. So come in. Yeah, you can really see actually it's actually tracking the whole time, and the only thing that I've noticed is when I'm focused on further away and then I pull it in, it like has a bit of a, you can't see it but you can feel it, where the lens just like, you can feel it kind of like trying to figure out where to focus. But that's a really good start. Jeez. All right, cool, so the colors are still there. I'm just going to take a step back. Can you slightly turn towards me to look at me? Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, amazing. So when she has her hands up, autofocus is working pretty well. Actually, I want more of London in, so we're going to do that. You can see I'm framing it to have a bit of London, a bit of cityscape. Yes, Alex, dope. I actually used tap focus there because initially it jumped straight to her eye, which is really cool. It jumped to her eye again. So it notices that she's there. But I want to tap through, so I'm going to use tap focus. And we're just going to like get a cool shot, like setting the frame here. So shooting into London. Yeah, that's looking awesome. Yeah, the bokeh on this is actually surprisingly nice. I keep surprising myself so far. Cool, so still shooting at 1.8 on this lens. I'm going to try two different things from the same spot. One of them, we're going to have a DLR train come through, and I'm just going to try and hold it still at like, I don't know, 1/6 of a second. And the ISO is all the way down at 50, so it should come through and we'll get some nice little movement with Simone standing super still. And the second thing I'm going to try is literally if she's standing super still. So I'm just going to shoot and turn slightly, and it's going to create this cool like drag effect. So 3, 2, 1. So I'm just taking like 2 photos. Okay, right, we're changing that up. The tube is coming through. So we're all going to be completely still here. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1. Okay, obviously we're on burst mode, so. Nice, yeah, that's sick. So next up, we're going to use the leading lines here. And then we've got the building lights are on. Now the blue arrow is here. So I'm going to shoot along this. And see how we can get some cool reflections from the lights using the leading lines. So, Right, let's see how this looks. Yeah, that's cool. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's cool. I'm just going to show you, and then you can then... You want to change anything? Yeah. Also, as you guys just saw, if you are shooting portraits, some models really like to see the photo straight away. I'm a big fan of that because then together you can come up with a new pose. So again, just something to think about when shooting portraits if you are starting off. So we've got the frame here. Next up, we're doing a quick street photography POV using the 50mm 1.8 lens, and then we'll be finishing off with a comparison of the 50mm 1.2 lens with some portraits where you can download the raws. Cool. So we're just going to walk here a little bit. There's a guy on a phone here. I might see if I can get him. And the Elizabeth line. Showing it as well. Let's see. It's pretty dark. But if I go from maybe... Let's see if he walks towards us. See how that looks. Might be able to get something in here as we go around. So obviously, I like having like an incognito set up as well. It's a little bit smaller, lighter. And if you have something like the A7C on there, it'll be even smaller and even less obvious. But like, you're shooting, do you know what I mean? So yeah, for me it's like this guy's having a drink. I don't know if we can see. That's actually pretty cool. God, it's windy. Windy. Tap focus. Just gonna shoot him. Keep going. The guy up here doing a bit of spraying. We'll maybe see what he's saying. Keeping Canary clean. Yeah, that's kind of cool with the spray. Some nice lights here as well. Might see what we can get. So let's get that. If I just do like a... If I bang the ISO down, I'd like to be able to get like a slow shutter shot of either people walking or of something like a bike. But here we go, this is what we wanted. Little moped. See how he looks, step back again. Another moped. See how that, one of those, hopefully one of those. Was a little bit, oh okay, let's go, here we go. Boom. Hi, sick. Whichever one looks the best, I'll put on the screen. I would normally put this is obviously shooting at 1.8. I would normally put this to around, I don't know, f4 or above to have more of a depth of field to play with. Obviously, I did want to shoot the entire video on 1.8, so that's what I'm doing, or 1.2. But just to let you guys know on the settings, if you are panning, it's better to have a much larger depth of field, so shooting at f4, 5, 6.3 or whatever you can above does tend to make it a little bit easier to get your subjects in focus and moving, yeah, and moving smoothly. So just a little tip there. All right, taxi's coming through. Nice, a second one. We'll get this one as well. All right, sick. So a couple of options there. Best one's will be on the screen. It's quite a nice frame with people walking through. So you guys can see up here, there's like that red. It's actually a really nice shot. And don't forget, as I said earlier, all of these images are edited with my preset collection, which is in the description. Well, there's a bike coming now, so very quickly, let's get back to the bike. Here he comes. If he turns sideways, go on, turn sideways, turn. Oi. He's a little bit of Photoshop, but that might look cool. Get rid of the people there. Just have the bike. This person with the briefcase is cool. If we can get a clean frame again, it wouldn't be hard to Photoshop everyone out, but I'd like to get one without. Yeah, this guy coming through is perfect for Canary Wharf vibes. He's got his shirt,
suitcase. That's a cool shot. So this is obviously a bit of a classic spot. They've recently taken this, which had blue all over it, so that's taken off now, which is good. So you can get a much cleaner shot again in landscape or in portrait. But even symmetry at 50 still looks really nice, something that's a long tunnel like this. So I haven't had any like focus issues at all. It's quite, we've got, interestingly enough, we've got like a blue light at the end. So there's a subject coming through on the right or the left or whatever that is. So we'll get the guy in the suit as he comes through. He's gonna be coming through in 3, 2, 1. Nice. Now there's not much light. I think I prefer shooting it from the other end because you have the blue. Yeah, really cool spot. Symmetry on a 50. Works perfectly well.
And finally, we're going to be doing a comparison on a tripod with some portraits of the 1.8 and the 1.2. Okay, so what we're going to do here is Simone's going to be in this pose, as you guys can see right now. And we're going to shoot that on the 50 1.2. So we're going to take a single shot. Okay, and then the other one we've got right here. And this is going to jump on straight away afterwards. So that's shot number 1. Now we're going to quickly, without dropping any lenses, put that in there, change very quickly onto here. Also without moving the camera, amazing. Okay, so we are at 1.8 on this lens, so I'm going to bump my ISO actually quite a bit to 500. Yeah, okay, ready? So shooting. Okay, I feel we need a second shot, so we're going to take a second shot just to get some depth. Someone's got a hand out, so we're going to shoot that first on the 1.8. Don't move. Now we're going to shoot that on the 1.2. How many of you at home are screaming about that open sensor? 1.2. All right, cool. So they're on the screen right now. Can you tell the difference between the 2,000 pound lens and the 150 pound lens? We're on the screen, and then we're going to tell you guys also on the screen which one is which. Both of those RAWs will also be in the description. If you guys want to check them out to see the sharpness and the bokeh, feel free to download them. Just make sure you tag me at m.visuals and Simone the model, which is Simone Stocks Models. Both of our handles are in the description. But yeah, feel free to download those at the end of the video so you can check them out yourself. The 50 1.8 lens, is it still worth getting in 2024? Yes, absolutely. This lens came out in 2016 and I still think it's one of the best lenses Sony have released for this price point. The 1.2 is obviously an incredible lens. I would highly recommend this one if you have a bit more budget. But if you want something that's small, lightweight, fast enough, sharp enough, and of course, very affordable, this is the lens for you. Big up for watching. Don't forget you can download the raw images we took of the portraits on the 1.2 and the 1.8 lens. They're in the description. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. I'll catch you guys in the next one soon.